All right.
Hey guys, it's Alyssa and Jill of Revolt Hair Studio. This is officially podcast number 2. So I wanted to start off by Jill giving us a little bit of background about herself, kind of, what made her decide to get into the industry, what it is that she's really passionate about, what makes her love coming to work every day. So give us a little 2-minute intro about Jill.
All right. So I started doing hair about 9 years ago, and that is after I graduated from high school. I went to college. I felt like I had to do that, and I didn't ever want to. But I went, and I hated it. So after a couple years, I was like, I need to just go do hair. It's what I want to do. So I went to a Paul Mitchell Academy school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then I started doing hair there. And as soon as I graduated, I was like, I think I want to move to New York City. So then I moved to New York and I did some hair there. And I learned a lot about the industry in New York. And then that's it. Now I'm here. So
Now you're
it's great.
here.
I love it.
So you're originally from Pittsburgh or?
About like an hour south on like the West Virginia, Pennsylvania border.
Okay. And what brought you out to the Lehigh Valley then?
So my husband had a job out here working with his college roommate who's actually from here. And so he had worked there for a couple years, and then we had decided that this would be a good place to move. So it's like the kind of in between of New York City and where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So it's like a really good place for me.
A good mix.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what about hair do you love the most?
For me, it is like the huge transformation that you can do. Like you could totally transform the way somebody looks in like a matter of a couple hours or even less, depending on what you're doing. So it's just like transformations for me is my favorite.
Awesome. So that kind of leads us into what you're going to be talking with us about tonight, right? So Jill is our hair extension wizard. She does multiple different applications. So depending on density of hair, what type of style you're looking to achieve, what your starting point is, what your end goal is, there might be something different or more customized to each individual person. So I'm going to let Jill kind of take it from here and run with it. If you want to talk to us about the different types and which ones you offer and the benefits of each individual one.
Yeah. So I've been wearing hair extensions for a long time. It kind of seems to be like a new trend coming in, and there are definitely new styles that are happening. But hair extensions have been around forever, and I have tried quite a bit of the different kinds. So I feel like I do know what's best for everyone's kind of different lifestyles, textures of hair, like what they're looking to get, like looking to achieve. So there are a ton of different methods. The two that I mainly do right now and like pretty much think that they fit within everybody's what they're looking for are tape-ins, which is they're little wefts. I have some examples here. So they're about 1 inch thick wefts of hair. So on the top here, you see there's like a medical grade adhesive here that is like soluble, like it comes out of your hair very easily, but it stays in for about between 6 and 8 weeks. It'll stay in your hair and you can kind of wash it and wear it as regularly. You just have to be a little bit more careful when styling.
Is that human hair?
Yes. So all the hair extensions that I would put in your hair would be 100% human, just because if you get something with like a synthetic mix or some kind of like animal mix, if you're using heat on it, like it may be fine for, I don't know, a week or two. And then after a couple weeks, you're going to just notice like it's just a matted ball mess. Like you can't put heat on synthetic really because it'll kind of melt. It is plastic, so it'll melt.
Sure.
So
makes sense.
Right. What's going to look the most natural in your hair is natural hair. And not to get off the topic of tapes, we'll kind of come right back to that. But everyone's kind of like, oh, where's this hair come from? Like, that's kind of creepy. I don't want to put human hair where,
So for me, I shave my head every other year.
Exactly. We just sweep up the hair off the ground and package it up. No. There's like a religious practice in India and a lot of places around the world where the women, they wear like a head scarf. So they grow their hair out their entire lives, and on their wedding day, they cut their hair. And the church then is how the church actually makes money. They then sell the hair. So it is like the women know that they're getting into it. They're not like scalped or like it. A lot of people are like kind of freaked out by it, but it's really like a humane, very fine practice. They do chemically treat the hair, so it's very clean and sanitary by the time you get it. So it's really not that scary.
That's cool. I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize that, like, okay, yeah, it's human hair, but they don't think about the step before
Where
it
it
got
comes
to your
from,
head.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that, and that's every hair that you would get done in our salon at Revolt would be human hair. We're not going to do anything other than that. Okay, so for tape-ins, you have these little like 1-inch wefts. So what you do is you would do two. You would put one in the hair and kind of pull the hair up and sandwich a little piece of your regular hair in, and then kind of stick them together. So you have these all throughout your hair. They lay really natural. They grow out. They're great. They do have an adhesive on them though, so they are going to be damaging on your hair. Not horrible, like they're the best you can absolutely do,
Mm-hmm.
but they're going to take a little bit of your hair out when you take them out. It's inevitable.
Well, I think too, and a lot of the times people don't realize this necessarily, is that every day we lose about 150 hairs per day. Now, it might be more, might be less. It's all dependent on what your growth stage is, so your anagen, catagen, telogen. But if you can imagine that your hair is sandwiched in between these two pieces of hair extension, then all of that hair that would have shed naturally in that time frame has shed. However, it can't get out of the hair extension. So a lot of times too, when you are doing a reinstall or you're doing extension maintenance, a lot of the times the hair that you see that's kind of coming out from removing the extension is in fact the hair that shed naturally on its own. However, it wasn't able to escape or go down the drain or get tangled up into your brush in the meantime. So that's something too that we need to think about. As Jill's done my extensions, we've done the natural beaded rose in my hair with volume wefts. So I know every time that we take my hair out, it's like, holy shit, there's like gonna be bald spots with how much hair falls out. But honestly, it's really just the culmination of your 150 hairs a day that have not come out of your head for the last 6 to 8 weeks. So you can imagine how much hair that might be when you are taking the extensions out.
Definitely. That's what I want to tell like everyone before we even start. Like, yes, you'll see hair on the ground. This is why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you were talking about we had done natural beaded rose on you, and that is the other kind of extension that I offer. So what that is it's like a weft of hair as opposed to like the 1-inch little band. It's like a whole weft that you kind of like put. It takes up your whole head basically. So you are using like a ton less hair when you use something like this. What I love about this is it goes in with these little silicone beads. So what you do is like a row of silicone beads in the hair, and then you take thread and needle and you go through the beads and connect it to the hair. So you're affecting like way less of your hair because you're only doing probably about 3 rows on the head, sometimes less even. So you're touching way less of hair and you're covering way more ground. I love this method. It lasts a little bit longer than the tape-ins because there's no adhesive. There's nothing that's like connected to your head with these, or connected to your hair rather.
Sure.
So the grow out can go even to like 10 weeks with these. So I really like them the best. I think you can conceal them the best. They're the newest, and they're what I pretty much try to talk most of my clients into at this point. But yeah, they're both really good options. I like both of them.
I can say just from personal experience that obviously I know that you've done my natural beaded rose for me since you got certified last year. But previously I've done my own tape-in extensions for my brother's wedding and so on and so forth. And majority of you know that I'm not afraid to shave a patch of hair off if it pisses me off. So I have quite literally shaved tape-in extensions out of my hair out of frustration because I couldn't, it's on your own head. So you can't get to it like you would be able to if you had, a professional assisting you. So for me, I really enjoy not only the natural beaded rose because there is no adhesive on them that I can talk my husband into putting them, taking them out for me.
Yeah, they're easy, like cutting a string, and that's really it.
Absolutely. But then, you can go like this right after. There's no residue, there's no film. You don't have to necessarily clarify the hair in between applications.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, that's another point about the hand ties that I love. A lot of my clients will get like a retouch like every 4 weeks or so,
mhm.
and their hand ties are not ready to be moved without them 4 weeks. They can go, so I can do like a root retouch, or we can even do like a partial highlight with these in, and you don't have to take them out. You don't have to reapply like anything else that's going to be like a material stuck to your hair. You cannot do any kind of chemical service on. So I really like that about them too, for people that have like a quick regrowth.
So what would be the difference? Because I know that we've done the Bellamy volume wefts in my hair sewn into a natural beaded row versus a hand tied weft.
Sure. So a natural volume weft, I actually have both here. So I'll see if you can see it close. So this is like machine done. Like that's done in a factory probably. Here is a hand tied one. And so it's a little bit thicker. A hand tied one is actually like each hair is actually tied onto that weft. You can see they're like the threads are still coming out of the side. So this is a lot thinner. So they're both really good methods. The thinner is what I would really kind of recommend for someone with really thin hair, and the actual weft you can do with someone a medium to thick. The only thing that's really stinky about the hand tied is you cannot cut them, because since every hair is hand tied on, if you cut it, it's going to be like a string and it's going to unravel. You're going to lose this. Now, not everyone's head is the same size. So you have to kind of work with these strings and bend them and everything like that. That's what I love about the machine weft, is like you just cut them to size and then you're done. You don't have anything here. I like, if I can get away with using the machine weft, it's what we're gonna go for every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you're styling your extensions, what is some hot tips that you have as far as maybe washing, drying, products that you really love, hot
Yeah.
tools, etc.?
Yeah. So as far as when washing, I would definitely do something that's sulfate free, something that does not have any protein, because actual protein buildup on this hair, since it's not human hair, it's not really getting absorbed that much into it. So it's going to build up on it and make them hard. So no protein, no silicones. They do have like special extension shampoo that if you were a client, I would definitely talk you into that, because it's formulated for the hair, so they know what they're doing. So wash and dry, condition, or shampoo and condition. Before I dry it, I actually like to wrap it in one of the microfiber towels, because it is so heavy and it's so much hair. And I know you can relate, because you hated washing yours.
Poor Jill. I made her wash my hair and dry it and curl it at least once a week or every other week. And I'm like not into the styling part of my hair whatsoever.
I really thought that I was going to have to wash and dry your hair before my wedding, but you cut
I did. I cut my hair out myself.
But I was prepared to go down in my dress and get you ready if I needed.
That is a plus team effort right there.
That's right. So yeah, wrap it in a microfiber towel and get like as much as the water as you can get out, because if you go in when it's soaking wet, you will be drying your hair for hours, like literally. So then definitely spray in some kind of detangler. My favorite that I've ever used on extensions ever is the Surface Bosu Moisture Mist. Like it's an aerosol orange. It's my favorite product.
It smells like a creamsicle dream.
It's good. It's just everything for me. So put that in. I do comb it out with like a big comb. I try not to use a wet brush. I know everybody loves a wet brush. For me, I prefer like a big comb, just to be extra safe with them, because they're they're fragile when they're wet, just like regular hair. So then going in dry, I start by just kind of blasting it, and then I would take it in sections, or else you'll be there all day. When heat styling, definitely do like a heat protectant, unless you're using something before you dry as heat protectant, like the Moisture Mist would count as that. When I heat style, I just make sure you get like your natural hair in with the extensions and put the heat on both of them together, it kind of just fuses them together and makes them look, you don't see a disconnect. Like, here's my hair, here's my extensions, everything kind of, if you have a blunt haircut like me and you're trying to do extensions, I would just probably go ahead and say, be comfortable wearing them curly like 95% of the time, because you're just it's impossible to blend something like this when you're flat ironing.
Sure.
Which I think when you have the long extensions, you want to curl it anyways, so it's all good.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the investment, whether it's monetary or time, how often we need to be coming back in and getting our extensions maintenance, what that looks like, all of the above.
Definitely. So before I start on this, I will just preface it all with, it's a luxury service. It is very expensive. The numbers that I'm going to say are, well, I won't even probably say numbers, but like it's an investment, and it's a luxury. So the thing that's most expensive out of everything is actually purchasing the hair. We use really good, high quality things that we stand behind. So it is expensive. I would say, like, it really does depend on the person. So we would have to have a consultation to get the real number, but ballpark, depending on thin, thick, what you're looking for, I would say on hair, you're going to be spending anywhere from 400, we'll say 300 to $700. Like, it's a huge range, but like, we'll put it somewhere in there. So that's your biggest investment. For extensions, I actually just charge an hourly price, which is the same as my color price. So $75 an hour. The first time is usually the longest. It's easier to take out the hand tied. It's easier to take out the beaded rows than the tape-ins. So tape-ins, your maintenance appointments are probably going to be about the same, because the beaded rows take longer to put in than the tape-ins. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
It's like a catch-22, like one takes longer to take out but less time to put in, and vice versa.
Yeah, so it's like, for each appointment, you're paying $75 an hour. I'd say you're going to be there between 2 to 3 to 4 hours. It's like a huge range. It's kind of just depending how much hair you're using. So like I said, it's an investment, and you need to come back every 6 to 10 to 12 weeks, depending on which method you're getting. But at that time, you are working on growing out your hair, you're saving money in other ways. And I always say, like, people spend money on Botox and things like that. This changes your look just as much as that, or more. Like, I think people notice you having long, thick hair more than, basically anything. I think it's the biggest look changer you can make.
Well, and everyone knows that we are big Misha Aesthetics fans.
Oh, absolutely. I spent money on
Michelle and Danielle, Victoria, all of them.
Yes.
But Botox takes 2 weeks for it to set. So yeah, you might get it, today, and then it's not going to be active or, for another 2 weeks. Whereas you come and get a hair extension, it's like, boom.
It's instant gratification. That's exactly what it is. Like, it's just instant. Like, you leave that day and you're like, damn, I look good. Yeah, it's true.
Call me crazy, but since the quarantine, I'm like really itching to put hair extensions back in. I'm like, oh my God, I could get all of my hair up now. So I could totally have hair extensions again. Like,
that's what we're doing when we get back.
And then I'm like, why would I do that?
That's what I keep saying. I'm trying to make my hair healthy, and I'm over it.
Just need a good old fashioned bleach on this.
I'm ready. We need to schedule in an employee hair day.
Oh, we're going to need it just as much as everyone else.
Absolutely.
So I know that we were chatting about extensions. Is there anything about Jill Nicholson that we need to know? Like, I am this, I love this, or maybe something that you don't think people know about you that you're like, oh, by the way, I'm like a ninja.
Well, I'm not a ninja, but I really miss all my clients, and I hope everyone's doing okay. And I hope everyone's getting through this, and we will get through this. And it'll be great when we're out, because we'll just love each other, and it'll be all good.
I know. I'm such a hugger, and it's such a weird... Why can't I just hug people?
I know.
And I get it.
They're at like the same
corona.
Time. The corona. But at the same time, like, I've talked to people more now. Like, FaceTime my mom every day. I've talked to my mother-in-law, my nephew, my niece, you know what I mean? Like, so that's cool too. It's all good.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's not all good, but it
I
will be.
think it's just the break that everyone didn't know that they needed.
Yeah.
Is how I'm trying to look at it.
Yeah.
So I know too that a couple of you guys have took it upon yourselves to do some online education during this off time. What have you been able to accomplish since you haven't been in the salon?
Mm-hmm. So we're super lucky because the brand we carry, Surface, actually put like all their, Alyssa's an educator, so she teaches us. And we're actually like in the middle of a cutting series when this all happened, so we haven't had classes. But Surface actually put all the cutting classes and everything online. So I've been watching those, which have been awesome because we actually, we get to learn from like the founder, which is pretty sweet.
He's
So
way
yeah,
better than I am.
no, you guys say the same things actually. But no, it's just, that's awesome. And like every hairstylist is putting out like cute little Instagram, like live TVs. And so it's super cool. We've gotten a lot of education that otherwise I don't think we would have, for free anyways.
Yeah. I mean, typically all those major Insta famous hairdressers and all of that who would be charging hundreds of dollars for a class, I've seen just as many hundreds of videos of them posting that are completely free. So I think
Absolutely.
as an industry that I think more so now people respect the industry versus maybe 20 years ago where it was like, oh, you just do hair, or you couldn't do anything else, beauty school, blah, blah, blah. So I think now, not that the guest is changed, but I think the industry as a whole, we've all kind of come together and really thrive on helping each other out and lifting each other up. It's not, at least for us, I can speak for myself indefinitely, and I know for the team that I have, I can speak for them as well when I say that there's no cattiness or negativity or bashing other salons, or we're always there to lift each other up. I know at least 5 other salon owners in the Lehigh Valley that I can list off right now that we've been in contact at least every week since, this whole situation started happening, and just bouncing ideas off of each other and, doing check-ins and like just making sure that everyone's doing okay. And I know, some of my other artist friends or tattoo artists, like they're all suffering the same thing. They need guests in their chairs in order to provide for their families. So I think it's super neat that everyone's kind of stepping up to the plate and being more conscious and being more sensitive to other people's needs. Is not so much about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a cool thing to watch. It's been like equally horrible and awesome at the same time, I guess. But yeah, it's been great.
100% for that. Vote for
Mm,
Pedro.
yeah, but anyways, let's get back to work. I'm
Let's
ready.
get back to work
I'm
for
ready.
real. Is there anything before we end our podcast number 2 about hair extensions that you wanted to let anyone know?
If anybody has any questions, you can always message me or set up a connect session. They're always complimentary. I'm always excited to talk and answer questions. And if I don't know the answer, I will find out the answer for you.
Would you say for the time being that you would be open to a FaceTime connect session while we're closed?
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone's looking to get this done when the world opens back up, Alyssa can give you my number. Just text the salon phone and then I'll give you a call.
Awesome. And alternatively, I know we launched it today. It's hashtag rooting for revolt. And so what that is a fun little right? Because we're in quarantine and we all have roots. But for those of you who are not taking advantage of the custom coloring kits, because I know we can only offer that for a select group of people, we can't do toners, we can't do highlights right now. But if you are a guest who is growing out your hair and you're not touching it up at home in between, then you qualify for our rooting for revolt. So if you want to tag us in your pictures of your hair that's grown out, and then we will be measuring all of the new growth once we open back up, and whoever has the longest new growth will get a complimentary haircut. So that's something fun and different out of this whole entire, shitty situation that we're all in. So
Sweet.
perfect. All right, my friend, I will cut us off here, and hopefully we'll see everyone soon. We miss you. Can't wait for hugs, and we'll chat soon. Thanks.